who is Boxx and like what's the lore behind him? How was he created? Um,
Oh.
and then your channel, then how did that start up?
So it was so funny. I originally started cosplaying, right? And it was literally just the box head, like literally just the box head. It was the box head and like a newspaper print hoodie. And like I got inspired from someone else who had a box head of their own. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. And
Right.
COVID was happening, so I wasn't working. So I literally was putting out like 9 to 12 videos a day. And so I grew like exponentially faster than what I thought I would. So one thing led to another. And I was like, oh, I'm going to work on the lore for the box head, essentially. And that fell through. I think once I hit like 300,000 followers, I went live for the first time on TikTok and I was doing like Q&A and whatnot. I liked it. I like going live and talking to people. So I was like, oh, shoot, I should do this more often. But like it got really, really hot. So um near the end of COVID, I want to say I was introduced to VTubing via TikTok. And I was like, I need to figure out how to do that. Boxx is just the mascot name,
Right.
essentially. The character's name is actually Chiaro. What is that? I want to say it's Italian. I want to say it's Italian for like painting, like with dark and light, the contrast between it and stuff. I'm not
Oh
entirely
yeah.
sure. I want to say it's that. It's just a play on words for it.
Right.
Um, and essentially like his body is a shadow. And in the lore, the reason why for the white face is because he wanted to befriend like humans and whatnot, but humans don't take kindly to monsters. I'm working on getting a more professional model. I'm gonna spend anywhere around $2,000 to $3,000 for it.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask too, because I know that they're expensive. So do you like commission somebody to do
Yes,
those?
yes, I do. I do
Okay.
commission people to make the model. They build everything from the ground up. So they'll build the model, they'll build the face, they'll do like custom AR kit tracking. They do the eye tracking, like it's all handmade or whatever. Like the eye tracking for Vroid is automatically done for you, so you don't have to worry about it. The rigging is already done for Vroid, so you don't have to worry about that. So they do everything from the ground up. So I can agree to paying $2,000 to $3,000 for something like that when it's extremely like customized to exactly what I want. I will say this 3D modeling is a lot cheaper than 2D modeling. So like if you see the 2D VTubers, they're they're more expensive. I'm not gonna lie. And I think
Really?
I think it has to do with a lot of layers. Like they have to break up the art itself and
Oh,
layer it, and then they have to rig every single piece. Where with 3D modeling, you just make the character, rig it, and it's done. I don't have
yeah.
to worry about like hair clipping from the back to the front, so to speak. Most I've seen someone pay for like a 2D model, just a 2D model alone, not to rig it. The 2D, oh no, wait, it would be rigging. I don't know how much the art would be. Because the art's like a completely different story. But I
Yeah.
wanted to say it was like $10,000 just to rig a model. Um,
It's crazy.
Maybe 15 with the art included. This model right here that I'm using actually cost me only like $260. Um, it's a standard like Vroid model. It has AR kit tracking, which allows me to yeah do my mouth like that and puff my cheeks and stuff.
You have to like hook stuff up to your face so it captures it, or does the software do that for you?
Um, the software the software captures the model. I'm using an iPhone 10 Plus, I think, to capture my face. The thing I'm using for hand tracking though is completely different. It's a Leap Motion. So there's nothing on my hands. Like
That's crazy.
there's nothing on my hands. Like I'm not using any control or anything. It's literally just infrared lasers that are reading my hands. So I have to worry about me like, oh, my VTubing software shuts down because like I'm not capturing my face. I'm capturing the character. Because if my camera were to go off, like hang on, I'm just gonna cover my camera. This is what it would happen if my phone were to die and my camera were to turn off. Like you're looking at a biblically accurate VTuber right now. But the camera doesn't actually capture me. It captures a software.
Yeah, because it kind of reminds me of the like what is it like same technology with like something like what is it Memoji? you know?
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, meme OG, yeah.
yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's very similar. First, I thought you had to like hook up all these like little circle things to your face.
No, no, that's only that's only for full body tracking. I don't have that.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
sit
like,
down in
man,
a chair, so
head.
there's really no reason for me to have full body tracking if I'm sitting down in a chair.
Right.
I
Yeah.
do plan on getting full body tracking though, mainly because it's more lucrative, and then like I can actually like move my model around, like do my little jig and gritty.
So what is like the status of your, because I know that you have a TikTok, and I know that you also have a Discord, and I know that you
Yeah,
Twitch stream. So
yeah.
is there like, so what is your schedule with streaming particularly? Like,
So that's a funny question. It's been for like the past year of me trying to stream. I did have a stream schedule at one point. At one point, I did have a stream schedule. But with my jobs and whatnot, the like my real life job, I'm not able to keep a consistent schedule. A lot of my community knows that like, oh, I stream when I'm able to, and then like in my Discord, I post when I go live and where.
what do you think like influences your content? Is it just kind of stuff that you want to do for yourself, or is it more so influenced by your following and what your following's interested in?
I get the most viewers whenever I play like community games, like games where they can play with me. But like I'm not gonna tie my content around that specifically. I do play my own, like I do my own thing and I still get like the views, except they're not as high whenever I'm playing community games. But like at the same time, if you're playing community games, not everyone can play, so you're still stifling your growth anyway.
Right.
So honestly, I just do whatever I want to do. The community's there for me. They're not here for like the game. They're here for me.
Do you make money off this, the streaming on Twitch and TikTok and
I
even like
do.
the videos? You do?
I do. I do. I don't make a lot, but I
Right.
make enough to like put into the community.
Right.
When I say community, I mean like the model, the games I play. I'm able to do that. So I'm honestly pretty blessed at this rate because not a lot of people can start out making money. Like I streamed on TikTok, I think for like a month with like a PNG avatar. Um, and then I started making money, and I'm like, what? I can make money doing this? I think like the very first time, I think it would the user's name was Glitching Eyes. I want to say, yeah, Glitching Eyes, and they donated like I want to say the equivalent of what $40 would be on TikTok. Um,
Yeah, like through like the roses and like,
yeah, stuff like that, except it was like really big gifts and stuff.
yeah.
So I think I know it's a little embarrassing, but I cried. Okay. I was like, no way someone actually supports me like this. That's crazy. And then like another person came along and started donating a bunch. And then another person came along and his name is Zev. Uh that's his username, is Zeb. I don't know his real name. I like to keep everything private, but then like he's been with me for like over a year now. And like I think he just hit like his 13th month sub over on Twitch. And like he literally follows me everywhere I go. He supports the community as a whole because he believes in it. Um some people say it's luck, but it's really not. It's really not luck. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of work actually does go into like doing it. I feel like VTubing as a whole has like opened up gateways for like people to make content people who aren't comfortable sharing their face on the screen in front
Right.
of thousands of people. So I
Yeah.
feel like it gives them like a scapegoat to like use to hide behind. Also, it's really good for marketing purposes. A lot of people don't want their body to be marketed. So if they tie their personality to like a mascot that they can, tie the personality to, you can market this thing or
Right.
whatever.
I feel like VTubing was such a niche thing for a while. And I feel like for the most part, it was like, I don't know. What I'm most familiar with is like Hollow Live, which I guess is like the
Oh
most
yeah, an
popular one.
agency. Yeah, an
Yeah.
agency.
So
Hollow
like,
Live and Bishojo, I think, are the two big
right.
ones.
Do you think there's a difference between like being a part of an agency versus independent? Like, I know that there's a difference, but to you, what is the difference?
There's honestly not that big of a difference. The
Okay.
only difference is that most of your income goes to the agency. Like I know these really big VTubers who make like a ton of money from streaming.
Right.
They only keep like a small percentage of it. An agency, you start out like you have like a whole support. You have like a team behind you to help you push your content. You have someone who's able to go in and take clips of your content and just post it everywhere, rather than doing it yourself.
Would you end up also going to like a company as well, or are you pretty like set on being an independent VTuber?
I'm set on being independent, but it all depends on like if I'm growing like exponentially, like really, really fast, like I'm getting like 5,000 viewers every single day, and then I'm making too much fucking money, right?
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea what I would do with the money to put back into the community. The dream for a lot of people is to join a company and let them take over, and then you just do it for fun. At the same time, like I'm doing it for fun, but I have to do more work to get more money, essentially.
Who are the people like in your following, you think, like most
Like,
consistently?
so I'm really good at looking at analytics. I know a lot of my following are people from overseas, like UK, Filipinos. I know like a majority of them are over there. I want to say that that has a lot to do with what time I stream, which is usually at midnight. So whenever I stream, they're awake, and you know people over here are asleep. Essentially, I'm pretty sure most of my following are kids anyway. So
Yeah,
I have to be like PG sometimes, but at the same time, like I'm an adult, so I want to say fuck whenever I want, you know?
right. I was also gonna ask, like, what's the censorship like? I mean, I know that like you have to follow like Twitch guidelines, and I don't know what TikTok's guidelines are. Like, I've seen some crazy shit on TikTok, so I don't
Right. Like I got banned for standing. Well,
really.
no, I didn't get banned, but I got a ban warning for standing saying that I was nude. I'm like, what? You wouldn't let your kid play like a terrible bloody game or something like that. So I want to say anything that's like mildly upsetting to kids. I know Minecraft's really popular, so they're like, oh, I gotta push this content. And like Fall Guys, whenever they came back when
Oh yeah, Fall
Epic
Guys.
Games took over, it was really popular. On TikTok, I've always wanted to try like, oh, I'll have like my video or whatever, but underneath it's like that fucking what is it, the
Subway Surfers.
yeah, Subway Surfers down at the bottom
That's really
with
good.
my live up top. I'm gonna think about, I'm gonna do that, someone like cutting stuff or whatever.
Yes, the soap,
Like just
and
all
then,
over the fucking screen.
and then it's the then it's the Reddit story in the middle.
Oh yeah,
I'm the
am I the
asshole.
asshole? Mark my content on TikTok as 18 plus, I lose my viewership. So
Oh,
that's how I know most of my following are people underneath the age of 18.
right,
To lead them in the right direction as like a content creator.
right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm influencing these children. So I have to be careful with what kind of jokes I make, how many times I make these jokes, especially around kids. But like at the end of the day, I'm trying to get more older people into my content because I don't know. I feel like if I have older people in my community, I'll be able to like be myself more. There was this one instance when I like started going live on TikTok, like I would get messages from people like, "Oh yeah, you're really funny," and then like some of the messages would actually have my real name. So I'm
Whoa,
like, "How the fuck do you know that, dude? How do?" So I
that's
don't like respond to them.
yeah.
Some of them are like wrong, you know, some names are wrong, but every once in a while they'll get my address, my name right, and I'm like, "What?" VTubers in general, they become targets on Twitch, like especially smaller VTubers, I want to say. I was recently I was a target of a hack or whatever. I play the game Genshin Impact. And
Mhm.
so like I spent a ton of money on that game. And like when my viewership shot up to like 300, I was a little worried, like no one's talking. Why is my viewers going up? And so I looked at the analytics, and a lot of stuff was coming from like Russia emails and stuff. So they were doxing me, I want to say. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but they ended up getting my password and stuff. And what was really scary is that my PayPal was linked to that. So if they were to literally just buy stuff, um, there's like no like, oh, I approve this, like type in your email. It just goes through. So if they were to buy stuff, I would be broke essentially. A lot of people don't really focus on the person behind the character, so to speak. They look at the character and are like, oh, that's who this guy is. Of course there's gonna be jokes like, oh, he's just a fatty neckbeard guy. He's yeah, especially like if you're playing it's a very common with like I guess hot female VTubers or whatever. Like, oh, it's just a fat guy with a beard with a voice changer. That's all that is. And of course, that's just a meme. So, like, that's what I've been rolling with anyway. Like, oh, I'm just a fat guy. I'm just a fat, balding, middle aged guy.
I'm 52.
I feel like my content actually has become more flirtatious.
Really?
Yeah, it's become when I first started. When I first started, I try to be like the comfort VTuber. I'm gonna be the #1 comfort VTuber. Thank you for joining. Thank you for thank you for being here. How are you? Nice to see you. Now I'm like, hey yo, bitch, what's up? Like on TikTok, I've learned to there's this thing called Tickfinity. So like whenever they I've set up a like goal of like 2,500, something really tiny. So whenever like they like the screen or like tap it a bunch to get me a bunch of hearts, which then puts me in front of new people. There's like a moan. I call
Oh,
it phone chan because they're essentially fingering their screen. So I make it a little saucy, a little raunchy. The kids love it. It's fun for your friends and family.
because I actually have been on your stream before, and they were talking about like whimpering and stuff. I don't know.
God.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't know. I don't know. Whimpering audio went. And the most recent thing is
Milking.
I already have Rule 34 art.
Bruh.
Someone has already made it. They gave me a tentacle dick.
Bruh.
Do you think that comes from like you doing streams like on TikTok and stuff, or do you think that comes from like your Discord?
I want to say that comes from my community in general, which most of them are on Discord.
Right.
Discord is like the central hub. Like, oh, what are you going to be doing today, Boxx? I miss you, Daddy. And then I'm like, oh, no stream today. I got bitches to fuck or something like that. And then, yeah, I feel like that's the canon event that most VTubers go through is like, oh, I'm going to be really nice. Or what's it? Say so is the actual term they want to use. Which is like you're PG-13. You don't cuss, you don't do anything. You're really nice, you're friendly, and then they develop into what I am, a middle-aged balding dude. I'm finally reaching my true personality because, like, when you first start streaming, you're not yourself. You're not yourself. You're still trying to grasp the concept of things. Like, oh, how should I act? I'm in front of people. How should I act on stream and shit like that? But like the more you do it, like with anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be. So then you become your true self. And I think that's happening to me, which is the reason why I started out as being a comfort VTuber. And now I'm just, I sleep with your mom. Don't say this to my community at all. Don't say that. I've thought about getting a adult model. There's a niche for it on the hub. I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't know the whole logistics of it. I don't know how it works. And like the thing actually like moves, like you can grab it and move it and stuff like that. Yeah, I might make an OnlyFans for it.
That makes more sense than like, pardon me, putting it on the hub.
Do that. If I were to do that, then there goes most of my sponsors.
That's true.
The first time I got a sponsor was on TikTok, and they offered me $800 for one post.
That's crazy.
For one post, yeah.
I gotta start grinding. The hub experience would definitely get you an 18+ following and
yeah, definitely
quick way.
There's no such thing as bad press. There's bad press that'll get you canceled, but there's no such thing as bad press. Hear about people doing bad shit like all the time. Like, oh, I can't believe this person really did this to this old lady. How could he milk her tits? That's crazy. And then he gets plastered all over the place. Like, this person is known for milking grandma titties.
Bruh.
And then like he gets a following for that.
What are your plans for the future?
I kind of just roll with the punches, essentially. I try to keep up with what's changing in like the community, like the VTuber community itself. So what I would like is to be bigger. I know it's going to be a lot of work to get there, but it's going to be a lot of work for anything. It's just, if you're to look at it from a financial point of view, it's a startup company essentially that I'm doing for fun. Funsies, yay! Like, if I can do this, anyone else can do this. Anyone else. I'm literally a fucking nobody. Like, what the fuck? If anyone can do this, I mean, if I can do this, anyone else can do it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. Sign off for every single stream is like, sleep, good night, sleep tight, let the bed bugs bite, let them nibble on your left nipple because that right one belongs to me. Come suck me on Twitch, baby.